there is no reason to have a cologne collection in the big 25. So I see a lot of people with cologne collections, me included, and I'm gonna be honest, there's no reason to ever have one unless if you make content about it. I see a lot of people DM me, a lot of people just make videos about it, which is great, but they collect colognes and they want like their collection reviewed or something. First off, you should collect colognes for yourself. It doesn't really matter what I think about it. It just matters what you think. And then also, you don't need to sink money into like 30, 40 colognes because you're probably only going to end up wearing maybe one or two of them. So I'm going to show you which ones I would pick personally if I had to restart my cologne collection. I have 140 bottles, and I'm going to be honest, I regret buying a lot of them. So, first off, because it's the winter time right now, I would pick Clive Christian Blonde Amber as my wintertime daily. This is a bit pricey. You can get it for probably $200, $300 on discounters. Much, lower than what retail is for this. I would not recommend, getting anything retail personally. It's a big waste of money. But every day, Clive Christian Blonde Amber, I love it so much. I talk about this all the time because it has quickly become one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I got it only a few weeks ago. This is great, great, great stuff. Vanilla, amber, maybe like berries in the opening. Pretty sweet, nice, spicy, classy scent. It's great, fantastic. Speaking of kind of higher quality summertime fragrance, this is my fresh fragrance of choice, Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton. This is just a personal favorite of mine. This was the first Louis Vuitton fragrance I ever bought. I do not regret buying this. I've used a lot of the juice here. It's fantastic. In my opinion, it is a bit pricey again, but I don't regret buying it as I do with a lot of other fragrances, such as like, some designers, some of those like cheap cologne fragrances that don't really smell too great. Like they smell great like the first time you spray them, but then afterwards they're just too sweet, too synthetic. They start giving you a bit of a headache. This has never given me a headache. Super natural smelling, high quality stuff. I will probably always have a bottle of this in my collection. I really like it. So, in my opinion, though I am a fragrance influencer, that is enough for me. 2 fragrances, all I need, okay? There are some other fragrances in my collection, which I will list, but 2 is like the bare bones. I could get away with wearing these for the rest of my life. If like you just put me in a room and you told me wear these 2 fragrances forever, I'm more than happy with that because they're both great fragrances, and I think that's what most people should aspire their cologne journey to be. You know what I mean? Like, unless if you just like experimenting with scents, uh, it's cool. You can sink your money into that if that's what you like, of course. But for most people, the majority of people, 2 signature scents is all you need because your signature scent, that's what people remember you by, and that's just it's a really good to only need 2 because you'll save a lot of money in the future. Remember that. So another one that I like, probably would like to always have in my collection, is La Nuit de l'Homme. This is a designer fragrance. It is a pretty cheap fragrance. It's been out for forever, so it's pretty cheap on discounters. About $60 for a big bottle like this. It's really great. People describe this as a date night fragrance, or like a night out fragrance. I just kind of wear it in any situation. I don't really believe in like, oh, it's only for dates. I don't really believe in, oh, it's only for night outs. The only situation I can see like probably don't wear it too much in is like a really hot summer day. That's about it though. And that's another thing, is I don't really believe in like oh, this is only for dates. This is only for like stuff like that, like formal events. Like I see, like I wouldn't want to wear Versace Eros like a wedding or something, but I don't really believe in that kind of stuff too much, to an extent, of course. There's always exceptions. So that's 3: La Nuit de l'Homme, Pacific Chill, and Clive Christian Blonde Amber. So usually that's what you want to go for. I'm gonna pick out another more classy in fragrance, and this is actually really similar to Blonde Amber, but it is a bit more sophisticated in my opinion. It is a bit more like refined. I'd go with Grand Soir. So Grand Soir is definitely on the more like mature, classy, elegant end of vanilla and amber. I would say like Clive Christian's like the party one, and this is like the settled down like golfer amber vanilla fragrance, if that makes sense. So that's something I would wear to like a wedding or something. I probably would wear that to something that's like, you know, you're supposed to dress up a little bit. I'm gonna pick one more because I think that this is an important thing to have in your collection. Of course, when you're starting out, maybe like if you're younger or you know nothing about colognes, you probably don't want to sink a few $100s into something, and that's gonna be a cheap fragrance. So a cheap fragrance that I've been actually really loving as of recent, my favorite cheap fragrance I think just ever right now. There is a bit of recency bias, of course, but you know, I really like this. I enjoyed it a lot. Al Haramain Amber Oud Aqua Dubai. This is a clone of Louis Vuitton Imagination. It's really good. It is super solid. Great cheap fragrance. If you're a first-time fragrance buyer, if you just want something cheap, lasts like 9 hours, soapy, clean, refined. I probably couldn't find a single person that'll hate this fragrance. Super mass appealing. It's just fantastic. Great cheap fragrance. And that's probably something you would buy if like you're getting your first fragrance. You know what I mean? Like that's a true beginner's fragrance because so mass appealing and everyone will like it. And it's $50, so you're not really gonna take too much of a hit if you don't like it. Those are the top 5 that I probably would buy first if I had to rebuild my fragrance collection from complete scratch. Like there's a lot of good stuff in here. Like for example, one that I actually did forget to mention is Prada L'Homme. This is a great $90 designer scent. I would probably interchange that with any one of these on this list because it is really great. But unfortunately, I didn't think of that when I was recording the video. So those are the top 5 or 6 fragrances that I would buy, absolutely 100% no doubt, if I were to restart my collection. Let me know, because I know that this list was a bit different than most people would say. Like some people will probably recommend like Bleu de Chanel or something. I like it, but it's kind of like a dad fragrance. I realized that today. I went to Macy's with my friends, and I realized that Bleu de Chanel is really popular with like the older crowd. Like my dad would wear something like that, and my dad wore fragrances. It's just very mature smelling, and people say like, oh, it's fine for younger guys. If you like it, if you like Bleu de Chanel, maybe, but I wouldn't recommend it to somebody who's younger at all. I would recommend that to my father. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video.